fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of December 13, 2020. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable and massive and important astrological week without a doubt. Huge moves are happening in the sky. It's almost like you look in one direction and then you realize there's something else. You realize there's something else. There's Jupiter moving into Aquarius, Saturn moving into Aquarius, Chiron going direct. There's the solar eclipse. I mean, we have all had a lot of very intense energies, not just over the last couple of weeks in eclipse season, but really 2020, pretty intense. There's going to be a mixed bag coming up, but at least for now, and at least as we navigate to the end of this week and into next week, there is so much hope. There is so much healing on offer. And it really is some of the things that have been most difficult this year that are going to turn around in remarkable ways and put us on a new pathway as humanity. Now, I'm going to talk a whole lot more about this. I mean, I have so much to say about this coming up very soon in a Jupiter special horoscope, so please be on the lookout for that. But for this video, I just do want to give you a little bit of a heads up. It is going to be right around Thursday that Saturn will move back into the sign of Aquarius. The last time Saturn was in Aquarius was earlier this year in the spring. It was back in March that Saturn just dipped into the sign of Aquarius, and at the very end of March was met by Mars at 0 degrees at the very beginning of its sign that it had moved into. And this showed us how difficult this transit could be. It took us to one extreme. But it is going to be now that we are going to see how good this transit can be. All energies have a spectrum of realization. They all have parts of them that are challenging, but also parts of them that can be inspiring and hopeful and elevated. And we are going to see that turnaround happen now. And what was so challenging for us as a collective and individually as well, we will come to see it very differently once we navigate to the end of this week and beyond. Until then, we do have these intense energies playing out, but I feel like one at a time, it's going to start to feel like the energy is changing and is shifting for each of us in our own unique ways. And so why do I say that? Because it isn't just about what's happening in the sign of Aquarius, but it's also about these other big energies playing out as well that tell me that each and every one of us will start to feel like we are, on the one hand, really grateful that 2020 is nearing an end, but also very likely going to feel as if we have been on a journey and we are now reaching an important turning point as part of that journey. Together, certainly, but individually as well. And so what is happening this week? Well, look, we are going to have on Monday a solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. This is going to bring 2 weeks of eclipse season to an end for now. And this powerful solar eclipse is going to be happening hand in hand with Mercury. So there's this sense of information being a key part of what brings with it new understandings and new opportunities. The sign of Sagittarius is about the world and our relation to the world. It is about our philosophical, our spiritual, and our literal understanding of where we fit into a larger context. And the sign of Sagittarius can speak to borders, but here we have this powerful solar eclipse taking place. Solar eclipses open things up. They bring the new, they bring the next. And I do feel like in many ways, a lot of us are going to start to feel like borders are opening. Now, of course, this could be literal borders. More countries are likely to announce that they are going to open up to more people now. But it is also possible that these are philosophical borders, spiritual borders that are opening up, where more of us are open to considering other philosophies, other spiritualities, other ways of making sense of the world around us. We may also hear of things changing where it comes to things like higher education. There may be very positive announcements on that front as well. Legal matters, political matters can have a breakthrough also. So remember, Mercury happening hand in hand with this eclipse does suggest it's the conversations, the communications, it's what we are talking about, it's the information that is coming forward now that can make a difference. and can elevate the energy, can lift energy now. Mars is speaking in supreme harmony with this solar eclipse. And so that brings with it empowerment and energy and excitement at this time. Mars is nearing the end of the larger Mars retrograde season. We have been in it for a while. Yes, Mars is direct, but Mars will not leave shadow until around the 3rd of January. So we've got just a little bit more ahead. It will be next week that Mars will make a difficult alignment with Pluto for the 3rd and final time. But at least for this week now, as we're nearing the end of the shadow period, the fact that this Mars is speaking with this eclipse tells me that some of the things that we have learned, that we've come to understand about our own power, about our own truth, are going to be directly a part of what is feeling so fulfilled at this time, with this sense of new beginnings and new possibilities opening up to us with this solar eclipse energy. The eclipse is also going to be speaking with Neptune in Pisces in a conversation of tension. Now, I find this a very interesting alignment. This is one of uncertainty, of ambivalence, of confusion, of disappointment. And that doesn't necessarily feel good, but sometimes with new opportunities, the new inherently carries with it a sense of needing to leave something behind. And that means loss. And so, for example, if we have a new opportunity that's related to work or related to money, for example, depending on where this eclipse falls for you. I did speak about this in the monthly horoscopes, and that is up on YouTube now for the month of December. But depending on where this falls, for example, if you get a new career-related opportunity, that can be amazing, right? You're looking forward, you're looking upward, you're feeling very empowered and clear thanks to Mercury and Mars connecting with this eclipse. But there can also be a sense of what you're leaving behind a past role. That may be part of the loss that could be here. There may also be ambivalence to the new opportunities presenting themselves to us, where we're not really sure if this is the right opportunity or how we feel about it just yet. And that's okay. Where it is that there is happiness, where it is that there is energy, where it is that you feel lit up, that is the right place to go, especially with all this harmonious fire energy of Mars, of Mercury, of the solar eclipse. And so that is what you want to tap into that much more fully. But it isn't just about the solar eclipse. The following day, Chiron will go direct. Chiron is slowly but surely moving through the sign of Aries. Aries is an energy that has to do with self. It has to do with knowing thyself and acting from a place of confidence. It has to do with trusting our own instincts, our own intuition. Now, I did speak about this very important larger transit of Chiron in Aries in its own special, so I will link to it below. But the fact that Chiron is moving forward now, I do feel like this is going to inspire more of us to own the healer within, to have a sense of clarity as to what it is that we can do to own our own healing, to be a healer for ourselves, to direct our energy, to direct our will, so that we are in contact with our truth, our most authentic self, and able to operate from that place of wholeness. If Chiron asks us anything, it asks us to look at our own vulnerability and within it to approach it holistically so that we can heal it, so that we're no longer controlled by the things that have hurt us before. And where it is perhaps with Chiron and Aries, we've been caught in performances of power, performances of independence, rather than genuine independence, genuine power. I think that is going to be a moment of realization for a lot of us out there. And as I look at Chiron moving forward, I think wherever it is that it has felt as if your own actions haven't been as effective as you would like, where it has felt that you taking action has only led to perhaps feeling more stuck, now that Chiron is moving forward, it's going to help more and more of us identify, first of all, what it is that really needs to be addressed. What is the core issue? What really needs to be healed? But also it's going to help more of us feel as if we're able to create forward momentum going forward from here. and where it is that perhaps we are more willing to share those parts of us that feel vulnerable and share them with others. We may discover some truth about ourselves, some truth about the depth of our strength, and thereby redefining strength in the best possible sense. And strength can be understood so differently. It means different things to different people, but the performance of strength and power can be very different than authentic power. And that distinction is something that I believe we as a collective have been embracing as part of this slow move of Chiron moving through Aries from 2018 right to the middle of this decade. And so where it is that we are in relation to performance versus authenticity, we may gain some very valuable insights that then invite us to access this energy more authentically so that we can feel good about how it is that we are demonstrating authentic power. In the context of these huge energies, it may seem like not as big a deal to be talking about Venus, but Venus is doing interesting things this week as well. Under the light of the solar eclipse, over the course of Monday and Tuesday, Venus at the very end of the sign of Scorpio is going to reach out and connect with Jupiter and with Saturn before changing signs on Tuesday and moving into Sagittarius. Now remember, Sagittarius is where we have the eclipse. The fact that Venus is moving in here, I think, is interesting in a few ways. One is, what this means is, as we navigate further, eventually Venus is going to move over the eclipse point, and that's going to be in about 3 weeks' time. And I'll be here to talk about it every step of the way, a little under 3 weeks. But what's also interesting about this is that where there is movement and intellect and quick moving events and excitement and energy, but also fluidity with that Neptunian energy mixed in there, now will come love. Now will come an understanding of heart and what our heart truly desires where the eclipse took place. And so what I mean by where is all celestial phenomenon is going to speak to you and uniquely to you, depending on your birth chart and also depending on your sun sign as well. So when we do horoscopes, you want to watch horoscopes not only for your sun sign, but your ascendant sign also. And depending on the position of your sun, depending on the position of your ascendant, that's going to speak to how these planetary alignments speak to you more personally. And so depending on where the solar eclipse takes place, it is going to be that area that feels like it changes and has surprises and new beginnings that come out of nowhere. All of that is there. And then here comes Venus to ensure that we enjoy the journey, that we carry this energy forward, and that we are bringing heart to what is beginning now. And of course, Venus in Sagittarius, Venus is goddess of love, goddess of beauty. Sagittarius is the energy of the other, the energy of the exotic. And so it tends to bring with it an interest in other places and spaces and different types of people and languages. It can bring with it as well, on a fashion sense, a bit of a celebration of different cultures also, and also in terms of music. We may find ourselves wanting to hear music from different places in the world than perhaps we've known before. And I think that the sign of Sagittarius is very much about expanding your horizons, and where heart fits into that, where beauty fits into that, I think is going to be an individual journey for each of us. But it is a journey that is taken on with great enthusiasm and also reward. What I love about this week for us, well, look, it is a massively important and huge astrological week without a doubt. The solar eclipse, for one, that brings with it a very quick change of energy, fresh perspectives, fresh energy, new insights that I think a lot of us are going to tap into and feel a greater sense of possibility and optimism and enthusiasm. But of course, we've got these other very big energies playing out. Chiron moving forward is going to bring with it new understandings of what meaningful healing that we can own. Well, what does that look like for us individually? That may very well show up under the light of the solar eclipse. And of course, that very big energy playing out at the end of the week. We really are on the precipice of a brand new phase for humanity. Have no doubt about that. And after all that very heavy, very intense energy that has played out throughout this year, but even more recently with Jupiter and Saturn both at anaretic degrees, it is going to be such a lightening, right? Like we feel lighter very quickly as we gain more and more traction and as we move further and further into this week. For some, that shift is going to come very quickly, a more optimistic perspective. That is the very nature of Sagittarius is going to find us. And that can be part of what helps us to feel more open to the world. And for others, it's going to be the promise of healthy detachment with all that Aquarian energy heading in, where we decide that we are going to be more and more at the forefront of clarity and of a healthy way to engage others and a genuine sense of wanting to connect with humanity, to contribute something positive and stable and looking ahead to the higher and longer term future. That is the promise of the Aquarian age that we are on the precipice of, and it is literally just about here. Well, thank you so much for watching. What do you love about this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys, and to prove it to you, here are some of my recent favorite comments. Thank you so much to everybody who shares love, who gives love, who puts likes on my videos, who watches my videos, to each and every one of you who comments. It means so much to me. Thank you. And I love interacting with you. And if you would like to know how all this wonderful stuff this week speaks to you in your sign, I do have Superstar, but I do want to let you know, as the beginning of this video showed you, there is going to be a very exciting rebirth taking place of Superstar at the very end of this week. So please be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited. It's been in the works and I'm like, you know what? I want to catch that Sagittarius sun before it moves into Capricorn. I want to catch it. And I also want to tap into that very powerful, great conjunction energy and the spirit of it and bring that to a rebirth of Superstar. And so I hope you guys absolutely love it. It is a surprise. If Aquarius tells us anything, it is that there aren't nearly enough surprises in life. So yes, I will surprise you. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but I hope you absolutely love it. Just as a side note, if you want to see this fabulous shirt that I'm wearing that I absolutely love, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? It doesn't get any better than that. It says Feliz Navidad, which means Merry Christmas. And I've held on to this shirt for the last couple of weeks. I was going to wear it next week, but I just couldn't resist. It just looked like fun when I saw it. And I said, I have to wear that in a video. So here we are. I've got some very exciting limited time offers and opportunities and wonderful things that are happening. And I hope that you will join me and I hope that you absolutely love it. But yes, big discounts are on offer for a bunch of different things. So one of those things, of course, is Synchronicity University. We've got lots of wonderful sessions in the works now. Coming up, my session for winter 2021, what I've been doing for the last couple of years for planets, where we've been going through 2 classes per planet, one at a time, I'm now going to bring that to houses. And so we are going to begin the year with 2 classes on the 2nd house. So what we're going to do first, we're going to look at the sign on the cusp of the house. And then in the 2nd class, we're going to look at the ruling planet and planets within the house and how to interpret that. And I wanted to start with the 2nd house because 2021, the truly big and grand alignment is going to be the continuous square of Uranus in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius. And I think that that is going to speak to us in terms of our understanding of money, what's worth doing for money, what isn't, what it means to align your finances with something that feels like an authentic expression. I think more of us are going to be interested in that. And so I thought, how perfect to start the year with that energy, to help empower people financially, to help you to understand your your chart and what it says you can do to tap into wealth or at least prosperity in your chart. And the wealth part, well, that comes with the 8th house. So we'll also be looking at the 8th house. The first class is going to happen. The second class will be in the spring. And this is the 8th house, money, power, respect, because I think that this is hugely consequential. Yes, it has to do with wealth. It has to do with our relationship to resources, financial institutions, our ability to access resources. But it's so much more. It has to do with trust issues. It has to do with the law of attraction and the occult and how we direct our very powerful emotional energy. It has to do with the alchemical journey, turning lead into gold, turning the things that have felt like a heavy weight in our lives and turning it into great wealth, something that we cherish. That and so much more is part of the 8th house. So I'm looking forward to exploring that with you. We will have our first class on Ceres as well through the signs and houses. Now, I wanted to talk about the asteroid Ceres because I think Ceres is going to be so important in 2021 as well. She is going to conjunct Uranus and be intimately involved in a square to Saturn. And I think this has all kinds of implications for us. Ceres is the Roman name for Demetra, and Demetra was the Greek goddess of the harvest. And she's connected to the story of her daughter Persephone, and Persephone going into the underworld with Hades, and she mourned that. And I mean, it's just very, very fascinating if you don't know the story yet. But we will explore that together, as well as look at what you can learn about Ceres in your chart. So there's so much to learn there. And then we're going to have a class on astrology and the chakras, and that is by special request. So we'll be exploring the astrological correlations between the chakras and astrology, and how that system of healing, or that one part of a larger system of healing, can be used in your chart and in your life as well. So there's so much to explore here. And until the end of the month, because it has been extended now until the end of the month, you can choose your own tuition rate as low as just $5 a class. Link is in the description below. We have about 240 people signed up for the winter session so far. Thank you so much. Sessions, I appreciate it. I just appreciate that I can offer this at Choose Your Own Tuition Rate. So Choose Your Own Tuition Rate actually was launched earlier this year. And it was because of the pandemic, really, because so many people were home. I wanted people to be able to access classes. I wanted to start offering more scholarships. And so that was when that transition started to happen. I can't remember, it's possible I had it before as well, but I know that the depth of commitment to Choose Your Own Tuition Rate, what it represents to me, that astrology classes can be accessible to more people than ever before. That you not only can learn live if you want, but only a fraction of the people who take the classes join us live. Most people prefer to download the class and watch it in their own time. So regardless, whatever part of your sacred journey I am so very grateful for that. But also the fact that astrology classes can be offered, that so many of you either don't just pay the minimum or also donate to the scholarship fund. All of that just means so much to me. So thank you for making these classes accessible, for you guys, and all the tremendous support that you show for them. But also, I'm just so grateful that these classes can be available to more people than ever before. Speaking of Choose Your Own Tuition Rate Speaker Series with Synchronicity University, we've got about 2 weeks left for Choose Your Own Tuition Rate on the Speaker Series. So we've got two very special events taking place. So the first is welcoming in some of the most brilliant astrologers alive today. I'm so very excited about celebrating these people with you. We've got future voices of astrology. We've got celebrated, accomplished astrologers, in-demand astrologers, big dog astrologers, all of that together. And the fact that this caliber of astrologers is available to you at this very low price, as low as just $5 a class, to me, that makes me very, very happy. I am an Aquarius and we believe in equality. And so I love that I can make this so accessible to so many people. We have got truly phenomenal teachers on offer. The great living legend Michael Lutin will be joining us to celebrate the Tibetan New Year for Tibetan New Year's Eve. And he is someone who is widely celebrated, award-winning. He wrote the horoscopes for Vanity Fair for 25 years, was award-winning in that role as well, and has done so much in so many spaces. And so to have him, that alone, I'm like, oh my God, that was so exciting to me to have him join us for the speaker series. We also have Alex Trenoweth. Now, Alex Trenoweth is also a widely recognized specialist of adolescence and astrology, the astrological understanding of what happens during adolescence. And so she's going to be helping us to understand our own adolescence in our chart. And I know a lot of people have asked for insights into things like children's astrology. So she takes it a little bit further, goes to adolescence, but so very brilliant, so insightful, also very accomplished, has spoken the world over and very much in demand. We have Patricia Walsh with us. Now, Patricia Walsh is a celebrated evolutionary astrologer, so insightful, so brilliant. And in evolutionary astrology, which focuses on the growth of the soul in the context of this lifetime, Pluto is a very important symbol in the chart. So she's going to be looking at Pluto generations, people alive now. So depending on your Pluto sign, we're going to go through people who are alive now. I think some of the oldest people alive now probably have Pluto in Cancer, possibly. So she's promised to cover the people alive now. I've asked her if we have time, we're going to go into people born with Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto in Pisces, because that's coming up. But we'll see. I know that at least for you, regardless of what age you are, if you are alive now, you will get powerful insights into understanding Pluto in your chart and what that means for you and for your generation. We have brilliant voices in astrology coming up that I'm so very excited. The great Aquila Moon. You have seen her on my YouTube channel. She is just so insightful, so brilliant. I've had a chance to get to know her when she came here on holiday to Cancun. And so I knew I wanted her to speak for the speaker series as well. And Aquila is going to be speaking on Venus and Vesta. Vesta, also an asteroid that is very popular to use in astrology. And so we will be looking at the connection between the two and what that says in your chart. And we also have the very brilliant, very insightful Candace April from Intuitive Visions, and she is just so not only lovely but so insightful, so brilliant. She does these regular tarot readings on Instagram that are hugely popular, and I've just watched her grow and grow over the last couple of years, and I'm so very proud of her. And Candace will be speaking about the Uranus-Saturn square in 2021 and what that's going to mean for us. So I think that's going to be a very timely and very exciting class to get her perspective on this very important major transit, this phenomenon that's going to be taking place in 2021. So links are in the description below to sign up for the speaker series coming up ahead, starting in January. 2 more weeks to choose your own tuition rate at synchronicityuniversity.com. And back by popular demand, the great Michael Barwick. Now, I consider Michael Barwick my astrologer. He's just that good, and he is somebody that I regularly refer people to because he is so brilliant. And he taught a very popular class on fixed stars in the recent speaker series, the very first speaker series I did back in September. He taught that, and so many people loved that class so much. So now he's coming back for a very special 5-week course where he is going to go through all the signs one at a time, identifying 28 fixed stars and helping you to understand how to interpret them. So somewhere in your chart, you have to have some kind of conjunction or aspect with a fixed star. And so these fixed stars and interpreting them, it is a specialty. He has taught fixed stars the world over to so many astrologers and baby astrologers and student astrologers. And so now he's bringing that skill to Synchronicity University. I'm so very proud of that. I'm so very grateful for that as well. He has added so much to my astrological understanding. He's always giving me more insights into my chart. I call him my own little Jupiter. Like, that's how special he is to me. And so now that I get to share him with you, but also that more people will get to learn from him and realize just how brilliant he is, well, it just makes me happy to know and so very excited to celebrate him with you, share him with you. So yes, a 5-week course on fixed stars for just as low as $5 a class. Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. I have seen similar courses offered for much more than 10 times more the price. And so if you can join us, if you can come gain some insights into your chart, understand more about fixed stars than you did before, this very valuable understanding and technique that goes back to ancient times, interpreting fixed stars and what they mean for you, well, his course, I am sure, will be very valuable indeed. So links are in the description below to join Michael with his very exciting 5-week course on fixed stars coming up in the new year at synchronicityuniversity.com. I have 2 huge partnerships to present to you now, and one is a limited time partnership. It's only going on for about another 2 weeks, and this is my partnership with the absolutely iconic Astro Twins. So anytime I say that I'm in a partnership with them, the baby astrologer inside me just dances. It feels so excited because I know how these women have reached millions of people with astrology and have had truly consequential partnerships in astrology as well. I remember seeing their books on the shelves when I would go to the bookstores back in the 90s. I mean, these women really have been doing it and showing the rest of us how to do it. And so now to be in partnership with them, it means so much to me. And this is really such a great value that we are presenting with you. And it is a magical package. And so what you get in this package, you get, it's worth over $300. You get my 2 classes on tarot, major arcana classes. You get 3 classes on astro magic from me. And then you get a ticket to a live 2021 masterclass that the Astro Twins are going to be teaching. And you get a copy of their book. They have this massive reference book on 2021 that's published every year, or rather the year ahead that's published every year. And this time it's on 2021. And it is this huge reference book. I remember I did a live event with them back in January in New York City. And it was just so massive. I mean, it goes through each and every sign. It looks at all the major transit. And it is such a valuable resource, and you get that book as well. And so you save a huge amount. It's valued at over $300. Prices start at just $99. And so if you'd like to learn more about that and sign up so that you can get their masterclass ticket, so that you can get their book, and you get all these classes from me, links are in the description below. And finally, my partnership with Cosmogram. You can get my interpretation of your unique birth chart by logging on to Cosmogram at the link in the description below. There you'll be taken to a page where you can enter your birth data, and within hours, you will be sent a PDF of my interpretation of the different placements in your natal chart, in your birth chart. There is a sample available on that page that you will be directed to, so you know exactly what it is that you're going to get. I know a whole lot of people out there have absolutely loved this, and it means so much to me that it has been so valuable to so many. It is an electronic copy, a PDF. And so if you are one of those people who's looking for last minute gifts for other people or for yourself, it is something to take into consideration. So if you'd like to learn more about getting my interpretation of your unique birth chart, thanks to Cosmogram, link is in the description below. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that wherever you are in your life, you're enjoying this time. I know it's been intense, but I don't know about you. I'm already starting to feel like things are changing. The energy is starting to shift. And I'm just about ready for it. I just cannot wait. I'm excited. I'm ready. Let's bring it. Let's bring in a different kind of energy now. And I'm so looking forward to what is coming up ahead this week and beyond. And I look forward to celebrating it all with you. Again, you have my sincere apologies about the delay with the Jupiter special horoscope, but please be on the lookout for that. That is priority, and I will be having that up very soon. And I hope you absolutely enjoy that as well. And thank you. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.